equality, and justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, will call the roll.
Nick Nosovich,
Here.
Dan Rohaley,
Here.
John Marshall, Dick Sauerman,
Present.
Kevin Taylor.
So we have 4 members present. We do have enough to conduct business. If there's any petitioner who would like to defer to wait till we're a full board, that would be your opportunity or option. Just bring that up when we call your petition up. Otherwise, we do have enough to conduct business. With that said, approval of the minutes. Minutes have been circulated. Any corrections or additions? Any motion to? I have a motion by Mr. Marshall to approve,
Second.
second by Mr. Rohaley. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, call the roll.
Dan Rohaley,
Yes.
John Marshall.
Yes.
Dick Sauerman.
Yes.
Yes. Moving on, old business, petition 25-31, Michael Cruz petitioner / Canvas Crown Point owner LLC owner. Request is a variance from development standards. Purpose is to allow signage to exceed 16 square feet. Location is 12701 Carolina Street. Is someone here to speak to that? Sure, if you'll state your name and address for the record.
Michael Cruz, 1828 Oriole Drive, Munster, Indiana, 46321.
Go ahead with.
Okay. I'm here tonight representing Brands House Inc. as a contractor for a temporary billboard structure at Canvas Rental Home Community Development site along Interstate 65. We believe this situation arose from miscommunication, not from any intentional disregard for proper procedures. We followed guidance provided by city officials, obtained state approval when requested, and have remained cooperative throughout the process. We respectfully ask the board to consider unique circumstances and grant the variance needed to complete and temporarily display this structure. In the background, in July of 2024, I contacted the city of Crown Point regarding the installation of a temporary billboard structure on the property. I want to emphasize that this outreach was proactive and in good faith. Prior to this project, I had erected smaller temporary signage at this location and had consistently inquired about permitting requirements, which preceded instructions that no permitting was needed and without issue. For this larger structure, I again contacted city planner's office before beginning any work or exchanging financials to specifically ask whether any permits would be required, whether this type of signage would be allowed at this location. Based on written guidance from the city, we proceeded with the project from an email response dated July 23rd, 2024, after sending drawings and a pleasant phone conversation specifically outlining the project. Emailed response stating you are more than welcome to put these signs along I-65. Now, the structure was constructed approximately at 95% completion with the final step of mounting graphics and panels. When the city stopped work in the fall of 2024, we were informed of non-compliance with local science standards and that the Indiana Department of Transportation approval was required due to the structure's proximity to the interstate. We immediately took action and obtained full approval from the Indiana Department of Transportation. However, despite obtaining state DOT approval, the city again denied the completion of work. Again, I want to be absolutely clear, at no point did we attempt to circumvent permitting or approval processes. We contacted the city in advance, received authorization to proceed, and acted in good faith based on that guidance. When additional requirements were identified, we immediately complied and obtained state approval. Tonight, we respectfully ask the board to grant a variance to allow the completion of the existing structure, mounting the graphics and panels, an 18-month display period with complete removal guaranteed by May 7th, 2027, and all necessary conditions or requirements the BZA board deems appropriate. And also our commitment to demonstrate good faith and appreciation for a positive outcome. We are pleased to offer the city any expertise and consultation on any signage related municipal needs. This project represents a significant investment, and we are committed to doing whatever it takes to reach a reasonable resolution. We are not asking for permanent signage, only the opportunity to complete what we started in good faith and display it for a limited time period. Thank you for your time and consideration.
All right, sit tight. Mr. Watson, staff report.
Petitioner is requesting a variance from development standards to allow signage in a residential zone to exceed the 16 square feet allowed by city ordinance. The proposed signage is 288 square feet, 2 locations with 2 facings. Each would total 1,152 square feet. The amount exceeds ordinance by 1,136 feet. Parcel is bordered by the Canvas subdivision to the west and I-65 to the east. Petitioner reached out over a year ago about the proposed signage. The petitioner emailed over designs and the designs were approved, but no permit was pulled for the project which means there were no reviews done regarding the size of the proposed signage. The city discovered the framework for the oversized signage and stopped the work on it pending variance approval. In the span of a year since, we have spoken with the petitioner numerous times regarding moving forward with the variance while the obsolete framework has remained in place against ordinance. The sign company's license to work within city limits has also been expired of January of this year. No calls of support have been received by the planning department. All notices have been properly sent out by certified mail and the notice has been published in the newspaper.
All right, thank you. Mr. Marshall, any questions to the petitioner?
I'm gonna hold my questions at this point.
Mr. O'Haley?
Where will these be located? Are these gonna be in the I-65 landscape buffer? Is that where these would lie, or where would they be installed at, Josh? Can you-
You know, there's actually, just outside that buffer, there is some property owned by Canvas.
That's not platted.
It is platted, it's a lot that runs parallel to I-65.
Outlot or
Yeah. They got it.
Did they provide to you any findings of fact to demonstrate the hardship that they're seeking relief?
No.
No findings of fact to determine.
That is correct.
Okay.
Mr. Sauerman, any questions to the petitioner?
No, Mr. Rohaley asked the questions I was thinking of, so no more.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what, I mean, obviously, we've had some interaction with staff here. I've heard about this past sign. So what exactly happened with this? What happened between him and the staff?
So they had reached out to staff, as he said, July of last year, sent over the designs, showing what the product would look like. The response email he received back was, we are comfortable with the designs to move forward. But there was still nothing about the height. We didn't know, we can't approve signage like that. We don't have the authority to administratively approve signage of that size. Apparently the building department does not require permits for this type of signage. So it never actually saw any type of review process. We didn't know it was going up until it started being constructed.
On the design he sent you, there was no dimension.
All that we said was the look was fine, but we don't have the ability to approve that size.
All right, well, I'm just trying to figure out what happened. It sounds like. Hold on one second. I guess I'm just trying to figure out.
So even though, now just to clarify, there was a scale on there, but all we replied was the canvas at Crown Point was fine. We are going on the design, not the size, since we can't approve the size.
So the building department, do they issue permits for those signs or not?
I guess not.
So if you approve the sign, and it's within the square footage, then they're allowed to put it up.
Correct. If
On
it's
your,
within,
on your authority.
yes, if it's within ordinance, I can authorize that signage. But anything over what's allowed by ordinance, nobody in my department, nobody in the city has the ability to administratively approve it.
Okay, you say you have an email that says that you had the dimensions of the sign in the plan?
Correct.
And like I stated
You
earlier,
want to come up to the
Yeah,
podium?
sorry, microphone.
I believe it was miscommunication and also the previous interaction we had with the temporary signs that were put on, I believe, the Main Street there, Carolina, is that it? That we had already put up those, and when I called in for those, they said, well, temporary signs at that time didn't need a permit. And that was probably a good 6 months before this even happened. So we're talking back to 2023. So with that already had been done and no issue with that one, I still didn't just go throw it up there. No, I still called in, I still try to figure this out. And I think the miscommunication between building and planning and zoning, because when I would, call to get information, I try to do these things to, avoid situations like this. And, so this is the first time that this has ever happened. So it's definitely new treading waters for me because I'm trying to figure it out.
So you're the sign contractor?
Correct.
Okay, you got contracted to put the sign up for.
Correct. And it is a temporary sign, by the way. Tell you, it was never meant to be permanently.
And
Out
what
there.
about your license? Has it expired?
Well, it has, but we hadn't had any more new work in Crown Point, so that's the reason why. But I'm fully insured, and I could, if this goes through, I'll definitely get in compliance. But my bond is still active as well here in the county. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Sure.
again, what is your hardship that you're seeking relief from us?
So the hardship I'm really seeking is the fact that this project was a go, and I'm really in a bind with my client to say, and try to salvage the work that has been, it's 95% erected, and it's been up there. And they're saying that no one really knows it's there, and that, they're missing the opportunity to advertise.
Did you review your application where it said that you would be responsible for answering to this board to show what the hardship is in order to allow us to grant you any kind of relief?
One more time, I'm sorry.
Did you filled out a petition,
Yes, correct.
and with the petition, it says it instructed you to be ready to address findings of fact,
Mhm.
fill those out in writing, and submit those to us so that we can determine whether a hardship exists in order to grant you the relief that you need in order to grant this petition.
Understood. I would definitely say it's my inexperience in this process that I missed that.
I just don't see the hardship here. I don't see the difficulty.
Well, the hardship is that I thought I went through all the proper channels to achieve this project. The contract was, completed. So then I began to work under good faith, thinking this is how it goes.
That's not, the hardship goes directly to the size of the sign.
Got it.
Why do you need to sign that big?
To advertise, I would assume to the I-65 motorists, because if you make a smaller sign, then no one's going to see it when you're driving by at 65 miles an hour.
Do you believe that's your hardship?
I believe that was the reasoning for the project, and I went through the proper channels to try to achieve the project.
Is this right along the ramp to get on?
No,
65?
it's a little further down.
Farther back.
Yeah, it's a little further down. It's where the, I don't know if you're familiar right there, but it kind of does a nice bend right there. So it's situated right there.
Do you think people would see that?
At that size, yes, but at any smaller size, no. And it's not a general size of a billboard. It's still a little smaller, but it's still a nice size, but it's not.
What is the
I'm sorry, was
the
it?
size again?
Let me double check my notes. Sorry, it's 288. So it's 12 by 24.
12 feet by 24.
Yes. It's 12 feet tall by 24 feet wide, and it's in a V shape. I actually have
And
an image of it there.
and the allowable is 4 by 8. I put so.
16 square feet, if I remember correctly.
4 by 4.
Yeah.
And as mentioned before, I mean, the structure's already built. I literally just have to put the graphics there and pretty much call it a day. And I really appreciate if we can just make this happen. It's temporary. I promise I'll get this thing down the day.
What is temporary?
Really, at this point, whatever you would grant, I asked for 18 months, but I'm willing to negotiate that, and I will tear this thing down to the ground, and whatever day you say.
One more question.
So you just got one V sign? It's not two signs.
Well,
two signs and a V.
It's two signs of a V, just as you see there. And like I said, the structure is already there. It's just literally the graphics is the last part to go up. It's 95% complete.
How done is that subdivision?
I think they've only got one row left, and from my understanding, they are at capacity.
They got it all rented out?
That's what I've been told. I think they may have just a couple units left before the next phase build out. But
So the phase is done, not the whole subdivision.
almost the whole subdivision is done, yeah. And then after, if the board remembers, there were 2 meetings where the petitioner was not present. Canvas did come to us and ask, since he was not present for 2 meetings, if they could have temporary signs up in place of what is being proposed. And the city did grant them to have feather flags and pennants and banners for 30 days.
Yeah, I remember seeing those a lot ago.
And they came to us about those because they only had a few units left to rent out.
This is a public meeting. If there's anyone that would like to speak to this petition, be an opportunity to come forth at this time. Or online.
There's nothing online.
Second opportunity. Third and final. Nothing online.
No, sir.
Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public portion back and bring it back to the board.
How expensive was sign?
The sign was, I believe, in the neighborhood of 30,000. Mhm.
Is that per sign or just
Oh,
for
for the entire project.
the entire project? Okay.
And how much would these sign?
Now, as far as,
16 by whatever it is.
I believe they're 12 by 24.
Yeah, 12 by 12. And you need two of these? Is that what you're asking?
Well, for the way
Or the-
traffic, yeah, one side for south, one side for north.
And the cost of that sign?
Well, it was the entire project and the signage on its
No, I
own.
mean, how much would that sign be, would you estimate?
Like an individual one.
And the two that you're asking the variance for?
That's what I was saying. The project was, well, you mean like the actual structure itself? I just need to understand and clarify.
How much are you gonna charge them? How much are you gonna charge Canvas for this V-shaped sign that you're talking about?
30,000,
$30,000.
correct.
And we talked to Canvas about how done they're, so do they want the sign yet? Have you talked to them?
I have spoken once, sorry. Once we had the two meetings where the petitioner was not present, as I stated, Canvas then came to us and said, since he wasn't there, can we do this instead? And they asked for some feather flags and banners, and we did agree to that. So they did have them up for 30 days, which is the most allowed by ordinance for the grand opening.
Do they still want this giant sign? Have you talked about that?
No, we have not spoken to Canvas since then. The petitioner came back to us about missing the two meetings, and since it was just withdrawn from the agenda, he was within his right to request to have it put back on.
So it shows two locations there.
That was the original, what they asked for. And then they decided to just go with this one, which is, I believe on your, if you were looking at that paper, it'd be on your right-hand side. That right red arrow is where the structure ended up being put. They actually originally wanted 3. And then they settled on one V shape. And I spoke with them this morning and they said, fingers crossed.
But to be quite frank with you, I just don't see the hardship for a sign that size. Set a precedent for every development in town to have to come to us, because if we say yes to you for a 16 square foot sign, then every other developer is going to be in there too. We'll set the precedent for that. I sure don't want to do it. So, and I just don't see the hardship. I
Understood.
don't think you're gonna get that many new customers. When people are getting on the expressway, they're trying to, gauge where they're gonna merge into. I'm not sure that that's. And again, I don't even know if it's dangerous for them looking at a sign as opposed to looking to see where they're gonna merge into on I-65. They're accelerating at a high rate of speed. I just for the life of me don't see it. I don't see the direction.
Those signs work, I can tell you that. Yeah.
Well, if they're located properly.
Have those signs on 65, they didn't work.
How much a billboard? Huge. I agree with that. Don't know where to either stop or get off, but I don't see
The one thing that sticks in my mind is, based on your information, is they're virtually almost full. So had it not been full, I could see maybe them wanting to move forward, but what are you gonna advertise if you don't have spaces to offer. I mean, by the time all this gets wrapped up and you start putting them up, those few places left could be gone, and what are we putting signs up for on something that's already full? And yes, part of our duty is those findings of facts. There's ordinances put in place on what can and cannot be done. Our job is to give an opportunity to someone like yourself or anybody else that's here, based on hardships, for us to look at and say, okay, you definitely have a hardship, so we can say yes to this, or we can't. Not having that opens up the door, because we've been doing this for some time. And you say yes to one person, then it's yes to everybody, and you're not following the precedent or the rules as it's supposed to be. So it's putting us in a very awkward position to be able to determine fairly on this, when we don't have supporting documentation to say, you know, we see clearly what the hardship is. The hardship is not that the place isn't full. Hardship isn't that we don't have business, so we need to advertise to get people in based on what we're hearing. So how do we say yes to this when there's nothing showing a hardship?
I mean, at the end of the day, the hardship is really on me. I mean, I did what I thought was due diligence to, you know, the temporary signs, I believe in Crown Point, was a slippery slope. And, you know, at my knowledge from the signs that I previously erected that were temporary, had no issue. And it's not like I just said, oh, I'm just going to build this giant billboard here, give me your money. No, I told them, I said, hold on, let me get this figured out. And now it's where it's at. And that's where it's just, and I would like to verify that those, you know, that they're all rented out. I mean, I don't know why they're still emailing me and asking me what's the status of this and what's going on with it. And, you know, fingers crossed this morning. So I believe that they are still, you know, really wanting the sign to be erected, or not erected, but be displayed.
Well, whether that's the case or not, I hear you. And again, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just trying to say that the hardship is not addressed. The hardship is not, I thought I did everything right or whatever communication happened or didn't happen. Hardship means, you know, this property doesn't allow me to put it in the way it's supposed to, so I have to move it this way. And due to the constraints of that property, that gives us the right to say, okay, that is a true hardship and we can approve that. Just trying to give you an example. I don't have that example in front of me to say, you know, what happened, understanding or communications. It's not hardship, unfortunately. Hardship is something that we can put a finger on and say, yes, because of this, or no, because of that. And that's the problem that I'm having, so.
Mr. President, as the board's aware, the development standard variance petition talks about practical difficulties. I'm assuming when you guys are talking hardship, we're dealing with the practical difficulties aspect of the variance of
Absolutely.
development standards, correct?
Correct.
That's what I would assume.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I don't know by your definition, which I agree with, I don't know that this property ever had a hardship to put up a sign, it's just, it's a sales sign. There's really never been a hardship proven on this, but on the other side of the coin is, like Crown Brewing put a sign up out there on 65, and I know that they never came in, I saw it go up. So do we have a permit on that sign? Because they just put that thing up out there in the field.
No, we do not have a legal permit for that.
And if that's the case, then it means I have the authority to have it removed.
No, I'm just trying to be fair, because Brown Brewing sign, I know when they got built, I can remember the site coming in. And I know that sign, I watched that sign all of a sudden one day pop up, and so if this guy can't put up the sign, then I don't.
If
And
I,
that is
know how that
something,
sign got put up.
if I could just add, I mean, if I could just get 6 months, it'd mean the world to me. And I promise from here on out, any work in Crown Point, me and Josh will get together and I'll make sure everything is done to your standards. And then moving forward, we had spoken about temporary signs and how in Crown Point, they're not really allowed anymore. So if there is any feedback, I mean, this was back when temporary signs were still kind of on a, you know, on thin ice. So
Were temporary signs allowed and not allowed now that we changed the policy?
So we will allow temporary signage for a grand opening of a new business or sales of real, of property, real estate. And even then, there's time limits on it. So for example, a grand opening of a new business is 30 days. But anything outside of that scope, temporary signage, off-premise signage, anything along those lines are not permitted by ordinance. And we have code enforcement going out daily. We've got inspectors out daily, and we have written more violation letters for temporary signage this year alone than we have in the last decade.
Now, when you say it's allowed for real estate, what does that mean?
For sale signs and for rent signs, but they have to be on the property and there is a size limit to them.
What's the size?
4 by 8.
16 square feet.
Okay.
Allowed. And it can't be like,
Well, the
Correct.
hardship, I can tell you what the hardship is here, is he's got a sign sitting in the garage that he made and he didn't get paid for it. And if you can't get it up, you can't get paid, I can tell you.
that's
I'm
self-created,
not saying that's Crown Point's problem, but I can tell you what the hardship is here.
self-created.
I've been in that position.
but as far as self-created, I like to add that I did get, you know, email approval saying you're more than welcome to put these signs along I-65, and that was 3 12 by 24s. I have a copy of the email if you'd like to see it. I would have never moved forward without that.
So you got that with you?
Mhm.
I got it, I'm sorry, very fine.
Very fun.
A bigger
I
screenshot.
got it, yeah. But that doesn't say anything, it just says, you're welcome to put up those signs along I-65, compliments on the design. In addition, we appreciate your cooperation with the removal of the feather flags. Please feel free to reach out if you need anything else. Our door is always open. There's nothing about size.
Yeah, but right above it is the drawings that were sent that say the size, and there was 3 of them.
It says the size?
Mm-hmm. Correct, it's hard to see. I could send you a larger email version if you need, but it's there. It showed locations and it showed 288 inches by 144 inches.
So we had
Yes.
288 and 144.
Correct,
Which is 12 feet by 24.
correct.
Or
288 by 144.
And it's 95% complete. I mean, it's there.
What do you think, Ben? I see you sign the letter, just emails.
I approve the design officially and genuinely what had happened.
So your response is strictly the design.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I truly don't know what to do with this.
I mean, it says you're more than welcome to put up these signs. I don't see what part of the design, and I'm not throwing you under the bus, Ben, by any means. I mean, but I'm just saying it's miscommunication. And like I said, this is a temporary sign. You know, like this is not something permanent. This is gonna go down the day you say it goes down. And if anybody asks after that, say, hey, this fell through the cracks and there's no more signs like this allowed. It is temporary.
I am not gonna defend this to every developer is gonna wanna come in here and do 20.
That, I can't see that email. Who wrote that email in response to the request?
Yeah, sent this to Mr. Crew.
Okay. I have a question about this whole temporary thing, not to
Sure.
make this too crazy, but you keep using temporary. Is it really your decision as to whether it's temporary or not? Do you not have a contract with Canvas and does it not state that these signs would have to be up for some certain period of time?
Canvas has stated that they wanted to see the sign go up, and then from the temporary signs that we had already erected, they pretty much fell in line with the fact that it'd be a temporary sign. And that's.
If we give you 30 days,
Mhm.
what's Canvas gonna say once it's required to be removed, both of them within 30 days?
I mean, I would have to talk, I cannot
I mean,
speak.
I don't want to get in contractual obligations and all that kind of argument, but I think the whole temporary thing is specious, to be honest with you. I don't think should be even a consideration.
Okay. I mean, I was just,
We really don't know Canvas's true thoughts on this.
The only thing I
Because you're
have,
saying if we give you a short amount of time,
I asked them for, if me coming to the meeting tonight and asked for 18 months would be suitable. And that's what I told them. They said, fingers crossed. That's the response I received.
Were they still fingers crossed at 12 months?
I mean, at this point, I think they'd be happy with any significant amount of time and display for their investment. And for me to complete the project and learn from this experience and take it with me the rest of my life to,
The Canvas already paid for the sign
for the deposit, correct?
deposit.
Right.
Not for the full.
No.
I mean, I guess maybe Mr. Irek, you can shed some light on a legal perspective. We move forward and give him the opportunity to put these up for whatever amount of time it is. Canvas, can they come back here and say, we don't want that, we wanted it longer, we have a problem then?
Well, I
with
think that'd
Canvas?
be between the Canvas, I did look at the application. Canvas did sign as owner on July 22nd, 2025. Kyle Yates, I'm assuming, Josh, that's
yes,
a rep for Canvas, so they're part of the, petition from the standpoint of giving the petitioner the, the ability to come in here tonight. I mean, if we limit it, we limit it. This is the individual who's representing them. I mean, but that doesn't mean we won't get into some argument at the time it's time to take it down. I mean, there's no guarantees. Just go, you and I go out there with your truck.
We'll take it down.
So that's where I read it.
Oh, we gotta do something. I would make a proposal for 12 months. Whatever. Give you 12 months, get it up, get paid, advertise the subdivision. It's not really affecting anybody. It's out in your field at 65, so it's not in somebody's front yard. It's not blocking an entrance. It's not impeding the intersection.
Form of motion.
Motion for, make a motion to, approve 2531 for a 12-month, no extension period.
A motion by Mr. Marshall for approval of petition 25-31 with a 12-month time frame, no extension period. Correct? Is there a second? I have no second. Are there any other motions? Or any other questions?
this go to city council?
No.
Nope.
Development. Well, I make a motion to deny the petition based on the fact that, under the findings of fact, strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance would not result in a practical difficulty in the use of the property.
A motion by Mr. Rohaley. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second by Mr. Solomon. Any further discussion? Mr. Secretary, if you'll call the roll.
Dan Rohaley,
Now, a yes is to
Yes is
deny the
to
petition.
deny.
correct.
Yes.
John Marshall,
Yes,
Dick Sauerman,
Yes,
Nick Nosovich.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's been denied.
All right, thank you for your time.
Moving on to new business, petition 25-34, Robert and Stephanie Bishop, petitioner / owner. Requesting a variance from development standards. Purpose to allow a garage to exceed 900 square feet. Location is 205 East South Street. We also have petition 25-35, Robert and Stephanie Bishop, petitioner / owner. Requested variance from development standard. Purpose to allow a garage to exceed 16 feet height. We will allow you to talk about both of these at the same time, but then we'll vote on them separately.
Correct.
Appreciate it.
So if you'll state your name and address for the record. and-
Jim Kyleman, architect, 745 South Main Street, Crown Point. I'm with the owner, Bob Bishop, his wife Stephanie, and he purchased the Holly House, 205 East Summit Street, earlier this year, with the intent of fully restoring the house, foundations, everything, woodwork, interior, exterior. He's committed, he and Stephanie are committed to totally recreating all the details in this house and inside and out. With that said, what we're here for is to ask for the two variances. One is for a height variance to development standards. One is for area. The new garage, this is for a new garage. So we're not even doing anything with the house yet. We wanted to get the new garage built. This is kind of phase one. So what we did was we put together some plans for the house. I think you have them in front of you. This is in the historic district. The garage is kind of in the style of a vintage carriage house to match the architectural features of the historical Holly House. It's going to replace an existing garage that was built some 50 years after the original home. And this garage that's there does not match any of the vintage architecture of the existing house. So we have presented this to historic preservation. We got unanimous favorable recommendation for certificate of appropriateness already. We wanted to kind of get that taken care of before we went any further. So they are aware of the height and the size, and they decided to give us the favorable recommendation. So that being said, we're respectfully asking for permission to proceed with the two variances.
And I'm Bob Bishop, 205 Southeast Street. I grew up here in Crown Point, actually graduated high school with Jim. My wife and I bought it in February of this year. And yes, you're right, the next 3 years, we plan on restoring it to its original beauty inside and out, and including landscaping and a new garage, new driveway. And the idea was to hire Jim to create a garage that looks like a carriage house of yesteryear, but it's modernized with, with normal garage doors. In researching, there used to be a stable there, basically on the next property over. They must have subdivided at some point in time. And so this garage was probably built, it's probably built, I would guess, in the 20s or 30s.
Yeah, so the address is 205 South East Street. I said 205 South Summit. Apologize for that.
Mr. Watson, staff report?
Yes, sir. Petitioner is requesting a variance from development standards to allow attached garage to exceed 900 square feet in an R2 residential zone within the city of Crown Point's historic district at 205 East South Street. Current square footage for an accessory structure allowed in an R2 residential zone is 900 square foot. The proposed plans calls for a structure with a footprint of 1,444 square feet. This exceeds the limit allowed by ordinance by 544 feet. They're also requesting a variance from development standards for the height of the structure. Current height limit for an accessory structure allowed in an R2 is 16 feet. Proposed plans call for a structure with a height of 26 feet, which would exceed ordinance by 10 feet. Approved, the petitioner plans to construct a detached garage with a footprint of 1,444 feet and 26 feet in height. Plans were presented to the city's Historic Preservation Commission, who approved the design contingent on any BZA approvals. Indiana Landmark stated they felt, quote, the proposed garage would also overwhelm adjacent single-story home, quote. All notices have been properly sent out by certified mail, and the notice has been published in the newspaper. We have received calls of remonstration and a letter of support for the project. On top of that, one of the other things I just got, and this actually doesn't so much pertain to the BZA, but just so that petitioners are aware, if this were to get approved, fire departments just got some essentially structural conditions that would have to be met per Indiana building code.
Good.
And I'll be able to forward that to you guys.
Mr. Marshall, questions to the petitioner? I'm sorry, Mr. Sauerman, I'm looking at you and I'm calling you.
Well, first of all, I want to applaud you. I'm purchasing this home and taking on the project of restoring it to where it was. I understand that it's fallen on a little bit of hard times in the interior, so thank you for that. Obviously, the size is the issue, and when you take that issue and you subdivide it, it appears that this drawing of a camper on the drawing is the thing that's leading to the size requirement. So I want to verify the reasoning if that's true or not. And then along with that, do you have a contract with a contractor to be performing the work? I know that when you met with the Historic Preservation Society, you went over all the things that you would be doing to meet all the historic requirements. And I just want to make sure that if we were to approve this and you were proposing to have a garage type structure that is meeting those historic requirements of the home itself, that those are in fact being completed.
Sure. First off, you're correct. I do have a 1977 GMC motorhome, a vintage 48-year-old motorhome that's 8 feet long. My wife and I talked about, what it had to have a new garage because, like I said, it's leaning. It's 18 inches from the property line currently. Needs to be moved over, to 5 feet setback. And as far as I know, I could be wrong, Josh, but I could, we could put 2 800 square foot garages on there, and not, and you don't need this approval, right? So let me finish, and then you can respond. So what we thought is the 30 feet deep deck would be for cars. I have antique cars as well, with lifts, and the motorhome would be the first 30 feet. The next 8 feet deep is actually storage for lawnmower, snow blower, all that happy stuff. And the height is because the house is about 45 feet tall. It's a 3-story with a turret. So it's very tall. The lot is 1.1 acres, a significant piece of land. And so I wanted to make the garage look aesthetically like a larger stable, being tall. It's an 8-12 pitch. That's what makes it 26 feet tall. When the house is actually 12-12 pitch, and that makes the garage just too tall, and it's not necessary. So we kind of try to get in a reasonable sensibility of size with the house and the lot being over one acre. As far as the contract, I have multiple contracts waiting to be signed. If this gets approved, to start construction right away, whatever that means. I built a lot of houses in my day. I'm the general contractor, and I have the various contractors lined up to work for me in that space. And I've already went to Schillings Lumber. They have the material list, and those are very specific. For example, the freeze board just below the roof, as an example, it's 12 inches, 1 inch thick, not 3/4, 1 inch thick. Then it has 3 unique moldings to match the house. So that type of level of details is definitely on the drawing, definitely has been approved by the historical board. And so, yes, that stuff will be definitely on there. I don't know how else to say that. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
No, you answered the question. Thank you.
Yep.
Those are my initial questions. I just want to verify though with Josh one thing. So when we're looking at this variance, we're discussing the footprint being 1,444 square feet, which pertains to the ground floor. So we're not taking the thing that takes the upper level into consideration would be the height variance. Is that correct?
Yes, I mean, we're just looking at the square footage. And then, well, actually, right now, we're letting them present both. But yeah, the reason that the building is so tall is because they put a second story on, if that's your.
But we're not adding the second floor square footage to the 1,444 to come up with a total square footage amount. We're just talking about the footprint, i.e. the first floor. And then we have a separate variance for the height, but that height is needed for the second floor. If you
Correct.
follow my thought process.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me, the height of the building, the height of the garage is based on the height needed for both his lift and the motorhome. So the roof trusses, or the roof framing is set right on those 11-foot walls. So it's basically either attic space, it's loft space. It's not really a second floor. I didn't want to make it sound like we're doing a 2-story building.
There's no
This
knee
is
wall.
this is just a loft with rafters, and so that's all it is.
Well, in order to meet the pitch of the home, is that the
That's
saying,
exactly
Jim?
what it is. Yes.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Rohan?
So the footprint is 38 by 38.
38 by 38,
44.
and the 30 by 30 is allowed. So we are over.
The mayor's mansion there on 105 East South, I looked this up on Hartford. It's 24 by 36. Doug Book's house there
Mhm.
on Main Street. That's only 864 square feet. Then you went across the street over to the root house.
Yep.
And theirs is 20 by 26, 10 feet tall. Really, it's like 520 square feet. So we're going to 1444 for quite a big carriage house. Have you talked to the owner to the south?
I've talked to all the owners. Yep. Owners of this house, her name's Pam, and she was hoping to be here tonight. She is supportive. I have other neighbors here as well that are supportive. I've talked to everybody more so than the 8 or 9 people I had to send a letter to. And everybody's supportive of the garage and redoing the house and the landscape. I mean, for example, Dan, I've already cleared out the plethora of old bushes and shrubs that are, like literally, I think I got an extra 45 feet of land from the east property line. So all that's kind of, and I signed a contract last weekend to have new bushes put on the perimeter. And part of it's adjacent to Pam's property line. And so I even kept a part of my fence there. I took the fence down too. Kept my fence and then reattached it to a pole by her house so that her dogs stay in her yard. That's what she wanted. So she's fully supportive of what we're doing. But yes, that house was built in the 40s, next in the south. It's a one-story house. A friend from high school used to live there when I was in high school. It's definitely not historic, even though it's in the historic district. It's not in the best of shape. It's probably not going to last there forever, but the reality, it is there. And my proposed garage is 5 feet away from where the garage is today, which gives her breathing room, where right now she's 18 inches away from the existing structure.
Now, how far is her house from property
About the same.
line? And how tall is your old garage?
It's 18.
18 feet high?
Yeah.
You're going to 10 or 11 feet.
Another 8 feet high. 8 feet high. It's 18 to 26. And it's a 2-car, like 22 by 22 currently.
If I were living south of this, I'd say big wall or garage.
Do they have windows on that side?
Mhm.
And a mural.
I'm sorry?
Can't put a mural. That's all I have is.
Well, there is no windows in her house that's
Right.
facing the garage. If you go a little further back to there.
It's all
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
And what is the material? I'm sorry. The material on that south side is gonna be just siding.
It's gonna
Yes.
match, yeah, the vintage
Gonna be a
exposure of the existing house.
4-inch siding, just like the house.
Thank you.
Mr. Marshall,
Well, we've approved 26-foot high garages in that. I know. And, I don't know, I think it's a big house with a big lot. I think a big garage. Fits in there, and, so you got a unanimous decision out of the historical.
Yep.
committee?
Yeah. Mhm.
I'd be in favor just because you went through that buzzsaw, so.
It
Didn't lose any limbs.
took some doing, but
Yeah. We definitely done our homework as it relates to doing what's right for the house. I grew up here. This was my favorite house when I was a kid. And I wanted to buy it in the 90s. But by the time Mrs. Holly passed, I already had family going and I couldn't afford everything. So now I'm moving back from Illinois with my wife here to retire, and it came up for sale, and so I just bought it. And so it's not like I'm gonna buy it and flip it. I'm gonna buy it, and our plan is to next year is to raise the house up off the ground, because it is in bad shape, and have a Don's foundation pour a new concrete foundation, set it back down, and then also build probably a 400-foot small addition to the first floor, 1 story only, for a master suite. So when I get old, I don't need to go up those stairs.
And we may be back for that.
Well, I can imagine it's gonna be.
I think he's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm happy to see the house get renovated, it's always been, important part of Crown Point.
Yeah.
And so I commend you on your commitment to spending a whole lot of money there.
Mhm.
That's true. And the garage is going to match. For example, the garage on the prints, it's what I think is the best wood there is as far as roofing. It's going to yellow Alaskan cedar roof. And then when I'm done with putting the house back down, the concrete foundation, we're going to tear it off and put the same on the house. So it'll be wood roof on both. They already got approval for the colors of the house as well. I think it's probably hopefully in that package you get the color white and off-white. I know Mrs. Holly had it white when I was a kid, but we're gonna do white and off-white.
I don't have any further questions.
this is a public meeting. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak to this petition, it would be an opportunity to come forth at this time. Anyone online?
No, sir.
Come right up, sir. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Dan Bowditch. I live at 214 East South Street, directly across the street from Mr. and Mrs. Bishop. I have only support for the project. He did come and speak, from my knowledge, to all the neighbors to explain what he was doing, not only for this project, but the entire project that he wants to restore the structure as an historic home, if not the prominent home in Crown Point. to be a landmark that it once was, and I'm very proud of that. It's not only going to increase the home value of my home, but the neighbors on each side and to the south. It is in the historic district. He's been very, very forthcoming that he wants to apply historic measures in order to make renovations and restorations to the home. The garage is within architectural scale of the current building. I personally will have to look at it right out my front door and front window, and my bedroom looks over that, and I have no issues with it. So I wanted to just come here this evening and show my support for the project and hope that you give your support to the project also. It's a good thing. This is a good thing, as Martha Stewart would say, for Crown Point, to have not only that home, but others in the historic district restored. I've been trying to do my best. I know that neighbors in our district have been trying to do their best, as well as Jen and Dave Kralik, who are here this evening, to make the homes a focal point for the community. So this is a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Come forth.
Yes, as Dan mentioned, I'm Dave Kralik. I live
Name and
at
address.
219
Yes, please. Thank you.
East South Street. I can't add to anything that's been said previously at the risk of repeating it. I'd just like to make one point, that Bob's approach to this whole project was to be straightforward, and he reached out to all the neighbors. And I think he should be commended for his approach. You know, he didn't blindside anyone with a registered letter in the mail. He did lay the groundwork and was prepared to, I guess, get the support of the neighborhood before he came here. So I think that should be taken into consideration as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm Erin Alice, and I'm at 219.5 East South Street, and he came to me. I was worried because I saw the trees going knocked down, so I contacted my friend Janine Letcher, who works at the library, and she said, Erin, calm down. It's all good. Bob is a good man. And she has been working with him and telling him what colors to pick and everything like that, because she's on the library's historical. So I am just so excited for him. He has come and he showed me all of his plans and everything like that, and I was just over the moon. So I totally think this is a great thing for our street.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Anybody online?
No, sir.
Second opportunity?
I stated this that before it goes into record.
Okay.
Yes. But just to clarify what Jim just mentioned, there was a letter of support from the church across the street that they submitted this evening, but that'll go into the file as well.
Third and final opportunity to speak, here or online.
Nothing on mine.
We'll close the public portion and bring it back to the board.
I would make a motion to approve, let's see, first one, 25-34,
Correct.
as concerned with the findings of fact.
Would that be the findings on, in regards to the practical difficulty is that this is an older property and it needs the work and to blend in with the neighborhood?
Well presented.
A motion by Mr. Marshall for approval of 25-34 with the findings of facts, including the last statement.
I'll second that motion.
And a second by Mr. Sauerman. Any further discussions? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, if you'll call the roll.
Dan Rohaley,
No.
John Marshall,
Yes.
Dick Sauerman,
Yes.
Nick Nosovich.
Yes. We will proceed then with, on the table is the other petition, 25-35.
Well, I'll make the same motion, only for 25-35 that John made, same wording.
I have a motion by Mr. Sauerman for approval of 25-35 with the same findings of fact. There's a second,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Marshall. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, if you'll call the roll.
Dan Rohaley,
No.
John Marshall,
Yes.
Dick Sauerman,
Yes.
Nick Nosovich.
Yes. Okay, both of them are approved.
Thank you.
Good luck
Thank you
with your
very
work.
much.
Next on the agenda, petition -25-36. Nathan Rarick, petitioner / owner. Request is a variance from development standards. Purpose is to allow a garage to exceed 16 feet high. It's garage night, huh? Location 400 West Joliet Street. Sir, if you'll state your name and address for the record.
Sure, Nathan Rarick, 400 West Joliet Street. I come to ask a variance to build a detached garage exceeding 16 feet in height.
Anything else you want to add, or?
As far as why, yeah, yes, the house is roughly built circa 1930s, I believe, time frame, I'm guessing, honestly. But that doesn't leave a lot for storage, closet space, etc. There is a garage, however, since we bought the house 7 years ago, we've had 2 flooding events, so we don't really want to revisit that again. We don't store too much down there now because of it. So while we're going to build a garage, we'd like to take the opportunity to add storage to a second level.
Mr. Watson, staff report.
Sir, petitioner is requesting a variance from development standards to allow a detached garage to exceed 16 feet in height in an R2 residential zone at 400 West Joliet. Current height limit for an accessory structure allowed in an R2 is 16 feet. Proposed plans call for a structure height of 18 feet, which would exceed ordinance by 2 feet. All notices have been properly sent out by certified mail. The notice has been published in the newspaper. We have received no calls of remonstration or support. Planning Department recommends approval of petition 2536.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Marshall, questions?
So you're putting a second floor on it, for just some storage,
Yes, sir.
so you don't have any problem with, no living quarters or anything?
No, sir. No sewer, no water, just electricity in the building.
Are you rebuilding the whole building? You put up a new garage, or you just fixing, doing the roof?
A new garage. So there is an existing pad that's 24 by 22, I believe, that will be torn out. It's got cracked, and so we'll tear that out and put a new pad in.
You're not gonna exceed the 900 square
No,
feet.
no, sir. 720, I believe, is the square footage.
You're only going 2 foot over 16, right? 18 foot?
I have the plan. Believe it's 18 and a half is what I have on the plan. For my contract.
Okay, I don't have anything further right now.
For the record, I would also like it stated that he currently has an accessory structure with a shed on the
Yes.
property line. The new structure would actually be
Yep.
further in the distance from any neighboring residence.
Yeah, that shed will come down.
Mr. O'Leary?
Thank you for filling out your findings of fact sheet. That's refreshing.
Sure.
And they're even accurate, so.
Okay,
thank you.
good. Well, that's good.
Yeah, you just need the 2 feet to make the,
Right, so the collar die doesn't hit my head.
and that property slopes down, right?
In the back,
Slopes
yes.
down to the north.
I believe a little bit. Yes, it
So
does.
technically, you wouldn't even really see the top of the structure that much if you're 90 feet off.
Back from the front. Yeah,
Your practical difficulty is really the slope, right? Right.
right. Yes.
All right. All I have.
Mr. Sauerman?
I just want clarification. The shed has to come down, it looks like, just because the new garage will be west of where the current garage is. Is that correct?
Yes, it'll the floor plan, the footing would overlap the existing shed. So we'll take that shed. The shed is in poor condition anyway. So the garage will take over the role that that shed is currently serving to store lawn equipment.
Okay, and then your driveway then will at some point also move to the left,
Correct.
to the west?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And the entry into the garage is facing Joliet Street. It's not a side entry, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Have no other questions?
This is a public meeting. If there's anyone who'd like to speak to this petition at this time, the opportunity to come forward. Anyone online?
No, sir.
Second opportunity? Third and final? Hearing, seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Bring it back to the board.
I'd be happy to make a motion to approve the variance on petition 25-36 with the condition that the existing shed come down.
I'll second the motion.
And adopt the findings of fact as so
Oh,
accurately filled out. Thank
A motion for approval for 25-36 by Mr. Rohaley with the inclusion of the shed coming down and the findings of facts that have been submitted. And I believe that is seconded by Mr. Sauerman.
correct.
Discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary will call the roll.
Dan Rohaley,
you. Yes.
John Marshall,
Yes.
Dick Sauerman,
Yes.
Nick Nosovich.
Yes.
Really funny. It's my old boss's house.
Oh,
When
really?
when I first started working on it, many years ago,
All right.
and he did always have a problem with the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next on the agenda, petition 25-37, CP Property Group LLC petitioner / owner. Variance from, request is variance from development standards. Purpose allow a reduction of the side yard setbacks, location 785 North Superior Drive. And this also has another one along with it, 25-38, CP Property Group LLC petitioner / owner. Request variance from development standard, allow reduction of parking, 785 North Superior Drive. Like the last one, we'll speak about both of those petitions and then we'll vote for them separately.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Good evening, members of the BZA. My name is Jim Weezer. I'm the attorney for the petitions and for the project with law offices located. And I am saying this in public for the first time at 429 US 30 Highway in Schererville. It's been 429 West Lincoln Highway for 35 years until the post office told us they changed it. Said, okay. So that's where we're located. I'm here with Andrea Ragona. Andrea is the representative of the petitioner and has been involved in that entire project. And I'll just mention that and comment on it briefly. I think for the entire time, Andrea, I think.
Correct, 20 years.
Yeah.
She developed all 7 existing buildings, and this is our final lot for development there.
Right. She started when she was 15 to do that project. Anyway, so that's really the idea. This is the last building. And in order to accomplish a structure and a building that is consistent with the quality that's been there and the quality that they've developed in the other 6 buildings, there was some modifications that were kind of needed. And during the course of that, it was determined that these 2 variances were needed in order to provide, particularly to provide the necessary parking that was going to be required. I think it's only a two parking variance. I think
It's 2 spaces.
2
correct.
spaces. If the ordinance requires 49 and we're requesting 51. And then the side setbacks. We believe that with that having been accomplished, or hopefully being accomplished, then they will then begin to be, can then begin the construction of the structure, the new business structure, and move in some additional retail development to the community and to their area that they're, really proud of, that they've accomplished over the years. So overall, that's it. Between Andrea and myself, I'm sure we can answer any questions that you may have.
Appreciate it. Mr. Watson, staff report.
Bear with me, I've got two staff reports. I'm gonna Frankenstein them together on the go. Petitioner requesting a variance from development standards to allow a reduction of the side yard setbacks and to allow a reduction of parking for a proposed commercial development located at 785 North Superior Drive. Current side yard setback in a B3 business zone is 10 feet. The proposed layout would reduce the side yard setbacks to 0 feet to accommodate parking the shared drive aisle with the development to the north. The ordinance also currently requires a minimum of 51 parking spaces, with the proposed layout only having 49 spaces. The layout is consistent with the neighboring developments, and if approved, a parking and access agreement would be required for the properties, which would help to alleviate the parking concern. All notices have been properly sent out by certified mail, and the notice has been published in the newspaper. We have received no calls of remonstration or support. Planning Department recommends approval of petitions 2537 and 2538.
I'm sorry, Nick, I apologize, but just quickly, when I heard Josh mention that we have in place, or we have prepared the parking agreement that you need, and which will be executed and signed and approved and submitted and filed upon approval.
God bless you.
Always I had a few questions coming in.
I knew right away that's what would happen.
Mr. Marshall, question?
Well, I guess if we set a precedence, we set it with every other building that we. So, side yard setback from the continuous driveway is common planning, and if they have 51 cars there, they're just gonna assume just gonna have to park on the street. I guess 49 is certainly seems appropriate for the building. That's all I have.
Mr. Haley.
Think you solve the problem. Whenever I take my wife into the dollar store, I'm always parking on the side over here, and there's never anybody there.
Right.
So I think that's a great solution, the driveway agreement, that solves the problem. I'll even give you the 10-foot building setback line. Because if you go to the property, you got the 75-foot spoil bank in the back.
Right.
That really
Yep.
cool. And that goes directly to the real estate, not to a whim or a wish of the petition. So I think you're okay. I think you make the criteria. I did see your findings of fact. They look a little light, but we'll help you out.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to lose some weight then, and that was.
We'll help you out.
Mr. Sowerman, any questions?
I guess my only question is when I look at the drive-up facility that connotes there must be some type of a food chain or something. So is this building being built for a client? In other words, is it pre-leased already? It's not a spec, is it?
It is not pre-leased already. We do have, as I said, 7 buildings in that development, existing buildings in that development. We have, I believe, 1 vacancy. We do receive, several calls a week, and we would love to be able to, advertise a new development out there. So that's our intention, is we've kind of received enough public interest in the property, and we feel comfortable that once we start construction, we would lease this up very quickly, just as we did the other 7 buildings out there.
Okay. I was just trying to get a sense as to what the parking needs may be of the tenant. I'm with Mr. Marshall. We've been approving these variances as they come up. I think we've set a precedent here, so I think that's where we are.
Mr. Haley?
And I'll just mention too that this doesn't even cause me any pause with the building setback for the drive-through for the stacking of cars. Got plenty of room there.
Yeah.
Another Seven Brew or whatever coffee shop is coming. I think that would really solve a lot of problems. That's just brilliant. Get the common agreement. And we've done that
Right.
a lot. So I think that solves a lot of problems.
This is a public meeting. If there's anyone who'd like to speak to this petition, be an opportunity to come forth at this time.
Mr. Stan?
I wasn't gonna put him on the spot.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Hey, I'm online. Any second opportunity,
I don't want to say my name in that.
Let's see.
third and final. Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public portion and bring it back to the board.
I'd be happy to make a motion to approve petition 25-37 and 25-38. And adopt the findings of fact as late as they are. Insofar as, and it's subject to an agreement between the owners of the north and the subject real estate for a common access easement, access utility, drive up, whatever you can throw in there, whatever you want to make that work for the common part.
It'll be a cross access.
Yeah,
agreement,
cross
Is what
access,
we
right.
typically, right.
I'm old, I can't.
Okay.
You guys, I know you guys are. That's my motion.
Motion from Mr. O'Haley is approved 25-37 and 25-38 with the findings of facts and
As light
the,
as it is.
as light as they are, and the parking agreement. I think I covered it.
Well, I would take great joy in the second that motion, because anything that has Mr. O'Haley's stamp of approval like that, is an immediate second. So,
Well, I will rescind because I was going to do the same. We'll let you have the second, Mr. Marshall. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, for call the roll.
Dan O'Haley,
Enthusiastically, yes.
John Marshall,
absolutely, yes.
Dick Sauer,
Yes.
Nick Nusovich.
Absolutely, yes. You're all set.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes.
Hey, Jim, will that address cause you any confusion now when you go into work? Will it?
No more than I'm already having.
Puts it into it's a computer in the car. It'll just go there automatically.
Yeah, I may end up
Petition.
at your office, Joe.
Petition 25-39 PSA Architects LLC petitioner / Beacon Hill owner LLC owner. Request special use. Allow fitness facility in a B3 zone, business zone. Location is 10835 Broadway. There's someone here to speak to the petition?
Anyone on Zoom?
No, just folks in the waiting room, just like viewing it, but nobody's.
Are you able to reach out to? Because
No,
Okay.
somebody knows I am, now there it is. There's the drawing.
well, while they're loading, would you guys prefer if I just do the staff report now?
That's fine.
Okay. Petitioner is requesting a special use approval to allow a fitness facility in a B3 business zone. Property is located at 10835 Broadway in the Beacon Hill Shopping Center. The parcel is bordered by B3 business zones in all directions. If approved, the petitioner will operate a fitness facility known as Club Pilates. Club Pilates has numerous locations throughout the Chicagoland area, with Crown Point location being one of their first facilities within Northwest Indiana. Club Pilates is looking to go into the unit that was previously Stride Fitness Facility. Records indicate that the previous tenant had not gone through the process, but Club Pilates has been working with the planning department on receiving the proper approvals to help keep businesses in Crown Point in good standing. All notices have been properly sent out by certified mail, and the notice has been published in the newspaper. There have been no calls of remonstration, but as of today, I've got about half a dozen letters of support from residents, business owners, and even clients of Stride who are looking forward to having an automatic replacement if approved, that they can just continue to go to. So at this point, the planning department recommends approval of petition 2539.
Very good. Are they loaded up?
Yes, I'm online. This is James Slemons. I'm one of the owners. Looking to put this Club Pilates in place of where the Stride is currently located.
Excuse me, can you give us your address, please, for the record?
Yes, 11125 China Run. That's CHYNA Run. And that's in Davisburg, Michigan,
Okay,
48350.
thank you. You can go ahead with your presentation. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I think Joshua pretty much hit the nail on the head there. He said everything we're looking to do. You know, we're excited to come in and be part of the community. This will be our our sixth studio. We currently have 4 running right now between Michigan and Indiana. And we're opening our 5th studio in Schererville this December, actually. So we are excited. If there's any questions you guys have for us, I'm happy to answer.
All right, sit tight for a sec. Already got the report. So, Mr. Sauerman, questions to the petitioner?
Well, as I look through the package, the petition, I see a blank findings of fact worksheet. Did I miss receiving something? Or is that in fact what was submitted?
No, that's what was submitted. They were admittedly on kind of a time crunch because I was actually, the entire planning department was out of the office at a seminar. So we came in the same day that packets were, or any submittals were due. So seeing as how they were reaching out that day to move forward, and then unfortunately for them discovered that they weren't zoned, we were just trying to get them through the process to help get things cleaned up.
Okay, all right. That's my only question. I think we're remedying a wrong, frankly, with this. That's my only comment.
Mr. O'Haley?
No.
Mr. Marshall?
Well, I don't want the petitioner to panic with my following question, just stay calm, but, what's the hardship? The hardship, anybody, there ain't no zone places in this town that this place can go,
No, there's not.
not one place.
No, fitness facilities are a special use. We've got a few different items in our zoning chart like that. Anywhere where
I'm all
commercial.
for it, I'm all
Yeah.
for it, I'm just.
Well, no, just for the record, I know this comes up quite a bit with different things, but our zoning table, there are quite a few uses that they have to go through this process. And the way we always describe a special use is it's not that it's not permitted, it's just that the city would like a say in what's happening and like to know everything's on the up and up. It's when it's a variance of use, that's when, you know, waters are a little more muddy with those.
Oh, other fitness center, be under that category.
They can fall under that for different reasons, whether it's, a lot of times actually parking is the big issue because they require a certain amount of spots per square footage, which this one's part of the Beacon Hill Plaza, so they've got parking covered. Other times it's just to make sure we don't have issues. You'll see some fitness facilities that blast music all times of the day and night. It's easier to have some control over that when it's a special use. We get a little more say in what's going on the property.
All I have, Mr.
This is a public meeting. If there's anyone here to speak, who would like to speak to this petition, be an opportunity to come forth or online.
Nothing on mine.
Second opportunity. Third and final. Hearing and seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Bring it back to the board.
Make a motion to approve 25-39.
A motion by Mr. Marshall for approval of petition 25-39. Would that be a favorable recommendation? It's a special use.
Is, I guess I'll consult our what to do about the findings.
I would think that would be advisable, since it is a favorable recommendation, which you're moving through the county or city council. Well, you guys have discussed special uses required for any fitness center.
Okay.
So
That's a hardship.
that would be our hardship.
Yes. Motion for approval by Mr. Marshall. I will second it. Any further discussions? Hearing none, Mr. Secretary, if you'll call the roll.
Dan O'Haley.
Yes.
John Marshall.
Yes.
Dick Sauerman.
Yes.
Nick Nosovich.
Yes. So you have a favorable recommendation going to the city council, which you will need to be on or here for that meeting on.
November 3rd at 7 PM.
So
Okay,
they'll
great.
Make the final decision.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Miscellaneous. Anything under miscellaneous?
I'd just like to say, Josh, I think we need findings of fact with every petition. Or they don't go on the agenda,
Works for me.
even if they're like, whatever. Something, some clause, so.
Give
Yeah,
instructions to we're blue in the face.
Yeah, they're right on the application.
Right on the application.
For God and everybody. But I think the control is.
You got it.
There we go.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah, I have some. I do have some. I was
Okay.
trying to think what it was. It was something that was on my mind. Over there at, who is it? Signed by Long Beef. All right, so we have an 8-second rule on, the LED switches. Message board.
Yeah.
Well, that one's 2 seconds. It's just flipping right along.
Oh.
Yeah, there's not supposed to be any flash or animation or you can't watch a full
No,
cinematic
it wasn't,
television
it
show.
wasn't, it didn't have that, but it was humping. I mean, there was no way it was 8 seconds.
We'll go over and take a look at it and reach out to the owner if needed.
I was thinking of Mr. Roy Haley when I was looking at it.
It sounds like it.
Looking at that sign, I was thinking, Dan Roy Haley would not be happy with that.
I didn't see it. Well, very cautious direction.
That's all.
I would love to entertain a motion for adjournment.
So,
All in favor?
uh,
Right.